This is my house in Port Ludlow. Port Ludlow is a resort community right across the Hood Canal Bridge, somewhat close to Port Townsend. The lawn here was there when I moved in, and the beds were all in the same place. I just took out every single plant that was here and planted more interesting things. So I'm going to start off this series by focusing on a bed which is south of the house. This way is looking south, and you can see there are two empty lots there, and hopefully they won't be built on anytime in the near future. You also see the beautiful clear cut back there. So this bed that's south of the house runs alongside of our lot from the road all the way to the back, and it gets almost no water. This portion here that I'm going to talk about today gets no water at all. So it's very, very dry. It's kind of mounded. The soil is glacial till. And I'm trying to get a look that looks kind of like wildflower meadows in the gorge. And so I've used a lot of plants that are native to the gorge, but also some other things to provide a little bit more interest. The grasses you see are all Stipa tenuissima. They self-sowed in these particular spots, and where I like the spot, I leave them, and otherwise I take them out. I have quite a few Lomatium columbianums in this bed. These are the sort of lacy blue foliage lumps you see. I have about 20, maybe more, in this bed, and I'm growing more from seed all the time, so I'll probably plant more in the future. And that's, of course, a Columbia Gorge native. The things that look like weeds all around are clarkias, which have self-sowed here and make quite a show in midsummer. I also have some balsam roots here, Balsamariza deltoidea. These, like the Lomatiums, are long-lived but slow to establish. And again, I'll probably be planting more of these as time goes by. The Lomatiums die back early in the season, and so you have to have something to take over interest later. And I'm trying to plant more agapanthus because they get late summer color for this bed. I also have quite a few of these pulsatillas, which I planted last year, and they're good for early summer color or early spring color rather, and then they can take shade from other plants that grow over them, like the clarkias, which would shade them later in the summer, and they don't mind that. I'll probably be planting more pulsatillas in this bed. I'd like to see them throughout the bed eventually. I have some eriogonums in this bed. These are Eriogonum ovatum, I believe, which has white flowers. The trouble with eriogonums is that in the winter they look like a bunch of dead foliage, but you can't cut them back, you have to leave them. But they look very good later in the year. I'll probably be planting more eriogonums as time goes by. And I have a lot of Silophromienas here. And this is digitalis milk chocolate. I have quite a few of those that I grew from seed last year and planted throughout this bed. Yucca rostratus to provide some evergreen interest. Lewisiopsis tweedii, which does well here because it's very, very dry and well drained. I have quite a few Lewisia rediviva in this bed, and I'm growing more from seed, and so we'll plant more over time. This is, the name escapes me at the moment, so I'll come back to that in a minute. I have quite a few penstemons. This is Phacelia serracea, which requires really well-drained soil, so I think it will do well here. This is an Arctostaphylos I just recently planted. The main exclamation point in this bed is this Chief Joseph pine, which is doing well there. I have a few opuntias in this bed. There's one of them. These dioramas have seeded themselves, so eventually they'll probably be throughout the bed. More Lomatium columbianums. This is my largest Arctostaphylos. This is Howard McMahon. Does very well here, no water whatsoever, and the bees just love it. Stipa gigantea. I have a few of these sort of sprinkled throughout this long border. Various alliums are in this bed, and then throughout the bed there are a lot of bulbs, mostly Columbia Gorge natives, but a few others. And so that pretty much is this particular bed.